We have new details in the capture of an escaped murder suspect in Tampa. You're watching 10 Tampa Bay at 5. I'm Courtney Robinson.
I'm Frank Wiley. Law enforcement catching 15-year-old Jahmir Moore following 11 hours on the run. He escaped the Hillsborough County Juvenile Detention Center Sunday morning. And 10 Tampa Bay's Hannah Deneen joining us outside the detention center tonight.
Hannah, it's still unclear just how he escaped.
Courtney, Jahmir Moore was first arrested last Wednesday, spending just 4 days here before figuring out how to escape. Now tonight, the Department of Juvenile Justice is doing an internal investigation to figure out exactly how he managed to get out. We have reached out to them, and while we have yet to hear back tonight, we are learning new details from Tampa police about how they were able to track down this accused murderer.
A lot of it was just good old-fashioned police work. The officers immediately started pounding the pavement.
An urgent search for accused murderer, 15-year-old Jahmir Moore.
He is a dangerous individual. He is young, we understand that, but the crimes are very serious.
Moore was caught on camera Sunday morning, running away from Hillsborough's Juvenile Detention Center. Roughly 11 hours later, TPD tracked him more than 3 miles away to a home along West Keys Avenue in Tampa.
He was wanted for murder last week. We had done a lot of research into him last week to figure out where he might lay his head, who he might be hanging out with, and a lot of those same people were part of the surveillance yesterday. So I think that's why we were able to arrest him as quickly as we did.
While it's still unclear how he got out, TPD says Moore had been housed here in general population detention.
At the time, there was no information to say that he was an escape risk, even though his charges were so severe.
Moore is charged with the murder of 14-year-old Javario Bowie, accused of luring him to train tracks in Tampa and shooting him. Javario's grandfather says this escape once again shattered his family's sense of safety.
It re-traumatized us. It was devastating. You know, my family is owed an apology, and we are owed some answers as to how, you know, a system that we trust has allowed that individual to get out. And now we live in the fear of whether or not he can get out again.
Tonight, Tampa police say that Moore has been relocated to a different facility in Pinellas County. They say he now faces one charge of escaping a juvenile detention center on top of his other charges, which include first-degree murder.
And Hannah, police shared that when they found him, he was on West Keys Avenue with his parents. So do they face any consequences here?
Well, it appears the parents are not going to face any charges outright. Tampa police cited Florida statute accessory after the fact of a parent, which essentially means they have protections and they can't be charged just for being found with him. Tampa police also added his parents have been very cooperative. Now, all of that said, Tampa police say this is still a very active investigation and they are still looking into whether anyone might have helped him escape. They say more charges could come down depending on what they learn. Live in Tampa, Hannah Deneen, 10 Tampa Bay.